Hey you guys, and welcome to my December wrap up. Oh, the pain I went through to get all these books gathered, and I tripped and I fell on something and it cut my toe a little bit. Thank God, not deep, but still bled a lot. Had to use lots of peroxide to the point where, would be bleeding. And then on top of that, I ran out a lot of the big bandages. Fun. I really need to clean my room, and hopefully I will not get an infection somewhere, and I need to clean up. I said that already, but I really do, because I almost landed on my computer. I was just happy that all I got was was a cut on my toe. Just saying, I love my computer. But anyway, here we are for my December wrap up, and I'm just gonna tell you guys what I read in December, because it was a lot, because I did reach my goal of $100. Some might say I cheated, but I would not call it cheating, because if it's on Goodreads, I'm gonna count it. That's all I'm saying. So you'll see why. But anyway, let's start off with New Moon, the Illustrated Companion. Yes, come on, awesomeness. I miss it. Oh look, there. That's a miracle. First page I turned to. Moving on, I read Lockdown by Alexander Gordon Smith, and it is the first book in the Escape from the Forest Circus, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was definitely a good book, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. The next book that I read is Blood Roses by Frances Leah Block, and I gave this one, I'm looking at my computer so I can keep track, I believe a 2 out of 5 stars, and I was being really generous because it's filled with like 8 stories, I believe, and they're all kind of crappy, to be honest. But there's just this one story in here that every time I think about it, I cannot help but laughing about, and I gave it 2 stars just for that one, because I am pretty sure, I'm not sure the author's thinking, but I'm pretty sure there was bestiality in this book, and that's it, and I was just laughing my butt off the whole time. I was just like, no, she's serious? No. But yeah, oh god, my mind. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories. I'm gonna read you the titles for each one. The first one is Blood Roses. The second one is Giant. The third one is My Haunted House. The fourth one is My Boyfriend is the Alien. And then the fifth one, Horses Are a Girl's Best Friend. Yeah, that title was all downhill from there. Then Skin Art. Then My Mother the Vampire. Then Runes and Wings. And then Changelings. And I liked 1 or 2 of these stories. That horse one just made me laugh for like the whole time I was reading it. I was gonna read it out loud to you guys since it's only like a couple of pages, but then I was just like, I would never be able to stop laughing. Like even now I'm just like but moving on from that, then I read Wild Magic by Tamir Pierce, and this is the first book in the Immortals series, and I absolutely love this book, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because, come on people, it was awesome. It's actually a reread for me, and if something's good enough to reread multiple times, you guys should definitely go and check it out and see if it's your type of thing. The next book I read was Countdown by Jonathan Mayberry, and it is a prequel to Patient Zero, so it wasn't that long, and I read it on my phone. And then the next book that I read was The Twilight Saga Eclipse by Mark Koto Vaz, and yeah, so here we go. Look, nice picture. See, it didn't open up to Jacob this time, so there we go, different ones. Yeah. The other book I read was Wolf Speaker by Tamir Pierce, and is the second book in the Immortals series, and I also gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Emperor Mage by Tamir Pierce, and that is the third book in the Immortals series, and I also gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Necromancer by Lisa McBride, and it is a prequel, or like a different kind of story in the whole Hold Me closer necromancer story that I wanted to read. So I decided to start off with this like short novelette, and it was really good. Too bad we won't be following the characters because I really enjoyed it, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really awesome. I really hope that she might turn it into a full-blown story one day. The next book that I read was Out of the Darkness by Russell Friedman, and this is a book that follows the story of Louis Braille, and he's the one who invented the Braille system, and it's kind of like a short kind of kiddie book, because I remember reading it when I was really little, but I had rebought it recently because it was interesting, and it's always interesting. I always wanted to learn sign language. I just don't have, like, Braille, I meant. Like, he's the one who invented people so they could read Braille. I just kind of wanted to do that, but I have no patience. Another book I read, because I lost count which book we're on, is The Realms of the God, which is the 4th and final book in the Immortal series, and of course I give this a 5 out of 5. Also, awesome ending. Oh god, I wish there was another one. And then after that, I read 10 by Gretchen McNeil. You guys, you don't even know. I love this book so much. Definitely a 5 out of 5. Yes, I love you. I love you. It was awesome. So, moving on from that. Then, I read another prequel series book, and it is called The New World, and it is a prequel to the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, and this kind of tells some story of which I cannot tell you about if you haven't read the book, at least the first book first, before reading this. So, yeah. And then, the cheating part is when I started to read poetry to meet my goal, apparently. I don't consider it cheating. I haven't really, and then, you know, when I was reading the poetry, I realized I haven't read a lot of poetry this year, and that was devastating. But I read Annabelle Lee by Edgar Allan Poe, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, because who doesn't love that? It's like one of my favorite poems, one of the first ones I discovered by him. My darling, my wife, and my bride. And then I read The Fairies by William Alagato. I really don't know how to say his last name. And I gave it a 4 out of 5, and it's like a fairy poem. Kind of long, and has a good fairy, bad fairy kind of feel to it. And then I read The Negro Mother by Langston Hughes. 5 out of 5. 5 for me. I love that poem. It's another one of my favorites. And then I read The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Come on, at this point you guys saw that I just read some of my favorite poems, and it's another 5 out of 5 stars, because come on, who never read that poem? Like, seriously. The 2 roads diverge in the yellow road, and I took the one less traveled by. You guys really need to go check these out. I really need to do more Poemily time. Then I read The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, and come on, you guys know me at this Poe. Poe is my boy, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Eldorado by Edgar Allan Poe, definitely a 5 out of 5 stars, because if you guys haven't seen my Poemily time, which I will link down below, I actually read it and kind of discussed it. And then I read Alone by Edgar Allan Poe, definitely on the top of my list. From childhood hour, I've not been as others were, I've not seen as others saw, cannot bring my passions from a common spring. One of my favorite poems that I have always connected with, and you guys should definitely go and check it out. And then I read Fire and Ice by Robert Frost, another 5 out of 5. That's a really popular poem, most people should know it. I'm actually trying to remember some words right now, though. Yeah, laters. I'm probably going to do a Poemly on it anyway. And then I read Songs of Innocence and Experience by William Blake, and it is a book of poems, and I loved it, of course. I gave it a 4 out of 5, because, you know, poems are sort of hit and miss, even with your favorite poets, and yeah, some of them I absolutely loved, like A Poison Tree, and then some of them I didn't like quite so much. And then the last poem that I read that made my goal was Lenore by Edgar Allan Poe, which of course I gave a 5 out of 5 stars, and of course it was another creepy poem that did not end happy in any other way, which I think we might be seeing a theme. I may need some help, but I don't know. That's all I read. I read a lot of stuff in the month of December, and so yeah, hands down, that my favorite book, I'm not going to count the ones I reread because they already, was 10 by Gretchen McNeil. And this one follows a lot of these 10 kids who go to this party, and of course there's someone with a grudge, and they start killing them off one by one. And it is sort of like a retelling of And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which I would suggest reading first and loving. Oh god, that is like one of my favorite books of all time. So yeah, this one did it justice, I believe. Awesomeness. And then I guess if we're gonna go for educational book, this one was good. I mean, it kind of got you into wanting to learn more about the interesting, the Braille stuff, which is I was always interested when I was younger. And then I don't know how to choose my favorite poem. There was Alone, which like I connected with also, and then The Role Not Taken, and then come on, like seriously, are you guys gonna force me to choose a favorite poem? I cannot do that. I have so many favorites. Like, books are hard enough, but poems are even worse, cause yeah. So you guys tell me, did you guys make all of your reading goals for 2012? And if not, how many did you far down behind? And do you guys read poetry? And if you do, what is your favorite poem? And I will see you guys later for my TBR. But let me just say, happy 2013 now, because it's going to be weird saying 2013 all of the time. And yeah, I talk too much. I'm going to go. I'm going to try to do more in-depth reviews of this coming year, as was one of my resolutions that I made in my head. So hopefully you'll be seeing some reviews popping up. And yeah, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up. Bye.